Can you hear me? Yeah, big long delay. No one's watching, so you can hear me. Excellent. And if I do this. Good. Good. Still waiting for people. Aww. Thanks, Space Boy. We got anyone watching yet? Hello, everybody, and welcome back to If Music Be the Food of Love, Stream On. I hope you're all keeping well and are happy and safe in these crazy times. Welcome back. Tonight we have a wonderful musician. You might recognize him if you caught the Nymphs and Monsters Isolated Souls stream. He is in fact cellist Yotam Haran, and he is performing tonight for you his program, which is called Ain't All About That Bass. So I do hope you enjoy it. As always, if you like what Yotam's doing and you want to help him out financially, we have a PayPal donate link, which I will pop in the chat. It's paypal.me/ifmusicstreamon, and just make sure that you put Yotam's name in the little chat box so that you know, so that I know to give him the money. So, without further ado, I'm going to hand you over to Yotam, and I hope you enjoy the stream as I'm going to.
Hello, good evening to everybody. So today I'll be playing some solo music for the cello. And there are, the sentence I just said is not completely accurate because there will be quite a bit of music that's actually for, originally for the viola da gamba, but works equally well on the cello. And then there are going to be some etudes, which were or were not, I do not know, intended for performance at some point. So I'll just be playing those because I think they're great music. And so it's a bit of an experiment in a way to see how other people respond to this stuff because the fact that I like it doesn't mean that audiences would actually like it. I'm a cellist. I like everything that has anything to do with the cello. So I'll start with an etude by a cellist slash composer called Dotzauer, a German cellist from the 19th century. He was not only a very good cellist, but also apparently a very good pedagogue. His etudes are still used by many teachers these days. So that's basically it. I'll play that and then we'll go on. Thanks, Kat, for the nice comment. Just read it. All right, so the next thing is going to be about a century before this, maybe even a bit more. A piece by Boismortier, a French composer who wrote in a sort of Italian style, although the stuff I'm going to play is really quite French. And this is actually what I mentioned earlier. This is music originally for the viola da gamba, but I just happened to run into it while looking for some stuff for the solo cello, and seemed like a good thing to play. So, without further ado. so those were two movements from a suite by Boismortier, as I mentioned earlier. I will be playing more of it later, but in the true spirit of Nymphs and Monsters, which is the group I play in, and also the group Kat happens to play in, I've split up everything, so I'm not playing whole pieces, but it's kind of spread around. I think it's nicer that way. So the next thing I'll be playing is two movements from Bach's Second Suite for cello solo. So this is about the same time period, but in a very different place geographically and musically speaking. So that's that. So, what I didn't mention before I started playing is that I actually have my phone open here on this very stream. So if anyone has any questions or something to say, uh, you're more than welcome. I'm looking at the chat in between pieces. So that was Bach. I'll be playing more of that later again. Going back to Bois Mortier, I think it's worth mentioning that in this period, actually, the period more or less Bach and Bois Mortier were living in a similar time, there wasn't a lot of music being written for the cello alone. So the cello was already there was already some music being written for the cello with accompaniment, but the idea of the cello as a solo instrument playing on its own, that was still a bit of a novelty, and it actually didn't change much in the century or two afterwards. Although we will hear some music from the 19th century, not necessarily meant for concert situations. We'll talk a bit about that later. For now, Bois Mortier, as I mentioned earlier, originally meant for the viola da gamba, but works perfectly well on the cello. This is a suite. I'll be playing a rondo and a jig and a pezan from Bois Mortier's suite. That was another bit of Wamortia's suite. I'll be going back to Dotsauer now. That's the cellist slash composer I began with, who wrote very nice etudes for the cello. So I'll be playing one of those now. Let's see if I have any comments. Oh, I see. I got a comment from, I guess, Richard and Sharon. Thank you very much. Glad to see you here. Also from my dad. Thank you. And of course, thanks to Kat, who's a very good fan, plotting and all of that stuff. So, without further ado, not sure if you can hear it in the video stream, but I'm having a bit of a buzz from my lower string. That's actually due to the weather. So the lower two strings are actually wound with metal. They're wound with metal, and if the gut shrinks, it starts buzzing. So it is how it is. Maybe you're not hearing it at all, and I'm just talking about for nothing. So I will go on to a new composer in our program. That's Frankom. He was leading cellist in Paris in the first half of the 19th century. He was a teacher at the conservatory and a questionable pedagogue. So some of his students were really great. Others not so much. So nobody's really sure if he was a really good teacher or not. He was an amazing cellist, apparently. So he wrote some of this super difficult music, which I will play a bit of. So this is an etude from a collection of 12 etudes that he wrote. So that was Frankom, and now we move on to another new composer in our program today. But before that, I'll comment about the comments. Ben Schuler. I know the name. I don't know you personally, but great that you're here. All right. So yes, Yael is actually responsible for. Yael is my wife. She's responsible for all these plants here. They are indeed beautiful. So my dad is busy embarrassing me. And the next thing I'll be playing is, so the next composer that I'll be introducing, and that's that for today. I mean, not the performance, just the composers. Sébastien Lay, another cellist / pedagogue, also situated in Paris, as far as I know. I'm not completely sure about him. And so he also like all of these, there were a lot of like cello virtuosos going around in Europe in the 19th century, and they were almost all of them were writing their own etudes, pieces, yeah, even concertos, sonatas. So that's more advanced to them, but they were all writing something. So Le actually wrote fantastic exercises for beginners, but he also wrote some really great stuff for more advanced players. And this is actually nice because the collection I'm playing from, it's a collection of Etudes Caprices, and every one of these Etudes Caprices has a title. The one I'm going to play now is called Gravité, Gravity. I think you'll hear why in a moment. Before I start playing this, I'm just going to check my tuning quickly, and then we'll go So I hope you could hear both in the writing and in my playing why this piece was called Gravity. So we'll be going on with some Bach again. Still from the second suite. I'll be playing only from the second suite today. Actually, almost the whole suite. I've only omitted one movement. So now I'll be playing the saraband and the two minuets from the suite. So that was Bach, second suite for cello solo. It's funny because I'm performing with the computer in front of me. That's what's videoing me, and I haven't figured out, or I haven't thought of turning off notifications. So I'm getting all kinds of notifications in front of my face while playing. So this is really a very good exercise in concentration for a slightly ADD person. But all right, so that was Bach. Moving on, or moving back, or whatever you want to call it. We're going back to Franchomme, and I'll play another one of his etudes. Magnificent indeed. All right, so I see someone wrote the only cello piece they know is BWV 1007. Not sure who that is. Are you someone I know, the Gaylord? In any case, yes, BWV 1007. That's a very nice piece. That's the first suite I'm playing. Well, I played BWV 1008, so that's the piece right after it. So I'm just curious, actually. I would love to hear your comments about the music I'm playing today. Do you think it's justified that cellists mostly or almost always play just Bach when they have to play solo music, or do you think it's nice to add some of this other stuff I've been playing today? I'd love to hear from you what you think. So that's for the comment section. Going back to Sébastien Lay and his nicely titled pieces. This is actually a weird one because I'm not completely sure what the title is. I think it's Jouissance, which is not sure how to translate that exactly. I know what it means, but I don't know the translation. You can figure it out. So I'll be playing this and we'll go on. So I got a comment in Hebrew, as you might have heard, that jouissance is, sorry?
Enjoyment.
Enjoyment, yes. I just couldn't remember how to translate it, but that's what it means. Indeed, that was Jouissance by Sébastien Lay. I agree with my dad, Gilad, that Francome's music is indeed beautiful. I really love it. But I also like the other stuff, so which is why I'm playing it. Otherwise, I wouldn't play it, right? So the next, that was the last we've heard of Lay. We also heard the last of Francome a bit earlier. So we're gonna hear the last of Dutzauer now. And this is going to be a slightly simpler piece than the others I've played earlier, but still very nice, I think. I'm actually going to combine two etudes now, numbers 4 and 5, if you care to know. It's really unhelpful what I said right now because he has like a million etudes, so it really depends which book you're looking at. But in any case, I'm going to play these two together. Looking forward to your comments. So that was the last of Blitzauer for this evening. We'll hear another couple of dances from Boismortier's suite, and we'll finish off with the jig from Bach's suite, which I've been playing this evening. That's the second tweet, not tweet, sorry. There was no Twitter in Bach's time. The second suite. Let me find the Boismortier. It's getting a mess here with the music. So many different pieces I'm playing. So I'll tell you a bit of a secret, which is that I have my music here on a table, which actually has a puzzle on it. So we've been doing a puzzle during the last few days, and now there's this live stream, so we just left it there. All right. So a couple of movements from Boismortier. It's going to be rondo, gavotte, and 2 minuets. That's a good question. What would Bach have tweeted if he had Twitter? I'm really not sure about that one. I'll try to think of it while I play some Boismortier. And feel free to give your own ideas if you have any. All right, so we're nearly at the end of the performance today. That was, as I said, one more TA, a part of the suite for viola da gamba, which I just nicked for the cello. So I'll be finishing with the jig of Bach's second suite, the same suite I've been playing movements from this whole performance. Let me just find the music for it and see also what the comments are saying. So, Bach, a TikTok kind of guy. That's an interesting idea. Bach doing all kinds of dance moves on TikTok. I can't possibly imagine that. This is complete nonsense, but it's fun. So, I'll be playing the jig. Hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much. I have my one audience member applauding here. I mean, you're all online there. I have only one live audience member. So thank you very much for listening to this. I hope you liked it. I'll be really happy to hear comments, thoughts, whatever you have on your mind. Thank you very, very much to Kat, my dear friend, for arranging this and for hosting this wonderful streaming channel on Twitch. It's really great that you're doing this. So thank you very much. Yeah, hope to see you all sometime, somewhere. Goodbye for now.
Thank you so much to Yotam. That was absolutely incredible. I really, really enjoyed that. So if he ever wants to do another one, he just has to let me know. And we'll be very, very happy to have him back. It was a brilliant performance. I can see many of you enjoyed it as well. It was absolutely fantastic. So if you feel moved to support Yotam financially as a thank you for giving such an excellent performance, please do donate via our PayPal, which is paypal.me/ifmusicstreamon. Just write his name and I'll make sure he gets any of your money. Also, if you liked this and you want to see more music, we have different musicians on every month. You can always just click follow on Twitch and then you'll get a little email every time we go live. And finally, if you want to support us and help get us to the point where we can actually pay our musicians eventually, you can subscribe to us. At the moment, they're doing a big drive on Twitch for subscriptions, which is September, not Subtober as it says on the graphic. So if you do that, if we get enough subscriptions, which are all discounted at the moment, then I will eventually be able to pay people. I don't have a graphic for you yet for October's streams because they're not confirmed yet. But if you want to follow us on Facebook or Twitter, just look for If Music Be the Food of Love, stream on, and then we'll put all the details up there very shortly. For now, thank you all so much for joining us. It was a nice full crowd tonight. Had a really good time with you. Thank you so much to Yotam. And most importantly, stay safe, everyone. Goodbye.